Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. In today's episode, we are playing Rejuvenating Sentient. Maybe it'll be okay, maybe it'll be fine, you never know. I have no strong feeling about this one. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that I might start, but again, I have to, if I'm gonna do picking clans, I gotta do picking clans and go into it with an idea, right? What's the idea for Rejuvenating Sentient? Well, you remember the Spike Sentient run from a few days ago? That's basically the idea for Rejuvenating Sentient as well. At the end of the day, I've played a lot of Rejuvenating Sentient. She is not a solo carry. She does not do well as your main frontline damage source. She's a frontliner who offers an okay amount of HP and you get some damage, right? It's like a weird in-between between a good frontliner and a good damage dealer, but we will see. I think that we want to play a sweeper. I think I'm going to play what's good for this, which is Hellhorned. We had our 1-day vacation or 2-day vacation from Hellhorned carrying us entirely, but realistically, this is not going to be an easy one, and there's no good healing synergies from the other clans. Is there? There's like Purifying Cleanse. The only one I thought of that might be okay is like Exile Melting, but I'm gonna play Hellhorn today. I'll branch out a little more tomorrow when I can put Exile Awoken in every run, but I think that ultimately Awoken, if we're playing Rejuvenating Sentient, the best thing to see is Hellhorned play a Rage Sweeper or a Rage Multi-Striker to cover up for the bad. I think a Sweeper is more important, but we will see. This is probably the best possible set of starting cards I could imagine, so it's going to really suck when I don't see Rejuvenating Sentient here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. Awoken, Hellhorn, Pushback, Rage, Chased, Wildwood Sap, Ritual, Battle, Awake. I just want to see if I have to restart. I do not. Okay. Very cool. Thought for a second I might. Very nice. +1 damage on spikes is cool, but I don't think that any of the units that play spikes well are going to be in this run. Stay Precious Plating. It's a great starting relic. It lets you play really aggressive. Oh, and Split Anvil is nuts here with 2 rituals and an awake. That's so good. This is a great start. This is almost as good as it can be. I'm gonna be very aggro at the start here because we have 80 HP. It is hard to even lose here. Now, Rejuvenating Sentient is not the worst champion in the world. She has some amount of value to her. However, mostly the role that she fills, she is outclassed by Cultivating Sentient in almost every regard. It's hard to think of a reason that I would pick this champion instead of Cultivating Sentient, but I think you can make a case for playing Rejuvenating Sentient instead of Spike's Sentient, because Spike Sentient has some clashing in the clan with sweeping. It's a little bit awkward. So there's a case to be made for Rejuvenating Sentient. I think that typically the case is not very good, and also it really sucks that we're against Chase Seraph, but we're gonna try to make a repeat of the Spike Sentient run, more or less. Of these, I think Razor Sharp Edge is best. Of these, I think Hornbreak is best. I don't really like taking Welder Helper in a healing-based plan. I don't think he's all that good. I'm going Hornbreak. You could make a case for molting him. It's not terrible, but we'll see. There's a steel shop here. I really feel strongly about looking for some -1s are good, or like oh yeah, a holdover is good, and also a sweeper. I think Animus of Speed is okay. It's obviously not what we want to play, but the infusion is playable. And then I'm gonna go holdover Ritual at 3 energy. It's good, and we're going -1 on the other Ritual. I think that's the right play. And then the goal is just going to be holdover Intrinsic on the 3-cost Ritual, and then make every other card cost 2 or less in the deck. And maybe, I'll think about it a little bit, but maybe we want, oh I can't play Awake yet. Maybe we want energy so that we can always play everything. Wow, these are terrible turn 1, turn 2s. What the hell? This is atrocious. Alright, it's fine. We drew Wildwood Sap, it's okay now. I'm gonna put the Razor Sharp here. I don't know which boss it is, I didn't look, but there's a high chance Animus of Speed is just dead. No, she's alive. Not too bad. It could be worse. Actually, I don't think it could be much worse. 3 damage is a reasonable amount of damage to take for how I played that. Glimmer, so we can talk a little bit about Rejuvenating Sentient. Rejuvenating Sentient, one of the best cards you can see here is Glimmer. It covers up the problem of backline steamrolls you, and it heals to give you a little frontline damage. It's probably the best single card to play on the floor with Rejuvenating Sentient. I don't think there's anything better. Horned Warrior is good here. Horned Warrior is like the I missed everything else, or there's a multi-strike in the next shop sort of pick. Wing Steel isn't good. I'm gonna skip this. The money actually matters here. Let me reroll the Steel Shop. Endless plus 10 and plus 10. It's weird to think about this, I feel. Putting multi-strike on Horned Warrior feels very strange, because Animus of Will is just better. By a lot. Like, by a lot in this run. Well, I guess not by a lot. It's better by 1 multi-strike. I wish Horned Warrior had more HP, but alas. I think I need to give him a plus 25, though. I also passed on Endless for the Imp there to reroll. I think it's right. Endless for the Imp isn't necessarily all that good. We can trade HP for an artifact here. Jackstrips is great. It's a very good relic. Taking this also closes off Shattered Shell, though, I feel, a little bit. It's okay with me. Intrinsic for the ritual. Yeah. So I don't think it matters a ton now. What matters now is I take energy so that I can play my unit and the ritual. Like, this is a later choice. This is not useful now. I play energy so I can play intrinsic plus my unit on turn 1. And then I can play around Ember Drain on turn 2. And then, yeah, following that, I will... Oh, Pushback Talus is gonna do me dirty here, actually. Pushback Talus does this to me. Because it's gonna push Sentient behind the Horned Warrior. That should be alright. I think the play is to just have the Sentient carry. But it's a guarantee I lose here on that front. We played once, we'll play another. Like, she's gonna go top here. It has to be. So there's nothing I can do about it. Horned Warrior just dies. Well, 2, 5, 5, pushback. There's no way to make it so that Fledgling Imp tanks it or anything like that, I don't think. No, because this Apprentice is in the way. But I think the play is to just play Awake. I think the right choice here is to just put regen on the Sentient and say the Sentient will win Relentless with regen, plus a little rage. As much as it is going to be a shame here because I won't actually be able to like stop enemies from hitting me, it's okay because I have the HP to survive, and more important than worrying about every single point of HP is worrying about surviving this run. Yeah, this makes sense. You could play... I can stop this damage, right? You play Train Steward in front, and then Torch. Train Steward will die next turn, so he's out of the way. Sadly, it gets rid of my Animus of Speed. But I don't think I need Animus of Speed here. I have 13 regen, and it's 50 damage per round, so... Yeah, with a ritual play, that was a little closer than I thought, I suppose. I suppose I should have not played it like that, but I thought I was safer than I was. Spreading Spores is a no. Same thought as yesterday. I wish this card just proc Rejuve, but sadly it does not. We could take Channel Song here, maybe. Channel Song for Horned Warrior. That's a really good hit, actually, if it works. I'm down. I'm down to give it a shot. Yeah, like, look at these two units side by side, right? You're giving up, what, 12-3 in stats, and you're gaining a multi-strike? It's too good. It's way too good for Animus of Will. But I'll play Animus of Will infused onto the Horned Warrior, and then we take energy. And it's kind of interesting how we go from here. My mind tells me I should go to the Horde. Plus the money. But I should probably go right. Yeah, Husk Hermit is the straightforward answer to this run. If you want to play this run in the simple way, you just play Husk Hermit. But he doesn't have multi-strike. Well, you know, you could 100% just pivot to multi, or pivot to Animus of Will onto Husk Hermit there, and that run would be okay. But I did not. I'm playing 0 × 4 Horned Warrior. You can almost make him into Brawler Prince. Awake costs 3. Can make it cost 1. I'm at 80 if I want to be. So I need to take 10 and 10. Intrinsic is what I think I want. I'm not sure if I want Intrinsic or not. I do want another Ritual. The biggest problem this run is going to face is survival of the Horned Warrior. The answer to which will probably be to play a lower floor. Like in this combat, I think we want to play a lower floor as well, actually. I want the money. But I shouldn't take it. I shouldn't take it. Like, it's best to play the lower floors. I think throughout the run we're going to find that it's best to be on the lower floor because we have 80 damage on turn 1 through Horned Warrior. He clobbers on turn 1. So we can kind of just jam ourselves down on bottom floor and see where we end up, I think. But whenever the Sentient doesn't heal, it looks a little bit more grim. Yeah, I'm gonna trade here. This is a choice to trade like 11 HP for the Collector, effectively. Getting Ember Drained also kind of sucks, but you know. I can also, the reason that it's a good trade is because we might be able to get this guy dead. Also 12 HP, but my opinion is the same. With a Ritual here and then a Channel Song here, we whip out the old 25-28 stew, and we should be good. Okay, yeah, it's definitely right to grab the Collector there. I didn't think about it actively, but I thought to myself, I bet that I have an answer to this somewhere, and I was right. This is a definite case of I need draw now. Also, if we fight Sweet Boss, it's very scary. But we will see. I think that this run has a lot to not like about it right now, but we can get there. We can take Focus Growth. The card's good. Yeah, I'll play Inferno. Okay. Sure. Now, there's a steel shop here. I need to go to a magic shop, for sure. And Intrinsic is ideal. Intrinsic, and now I need a Permafrost in the magic shop. Ah, excellent. This is optimal, I would say. Now, it doesn't work immediately. I guess it actually could work immediately. It cost me 60 gold to get this fully settled in. This is really good. It moves me to the top floor as well, which is also fine. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Moves me to the top floor. I would like to play -1 on Awake. I'm gonna pay the 60. We have to get rid of the other Train Steward or else he can get in the way. And I should grab some better healing. Let's put a +10 on Glimmer. You know what I missed here? I should have put a +10 piercing in the last ring onto Glimmer. That was my mistake. We have regen for this fight. +6 attack. It should be fine because we can heal through. When I say that, I mean we can kill them with the healing cards, primarily. This is okay. I had to run it through my head a little bit. One available. The Imp! The Imp! I forgot about the Imp! Okay, we drew him, thank God. Yeah, okay. Now, the channel song makes the unit free, so we should be able to guarantee this on turn 2. I do miss the collector, but that was just a coin flip. Can't believe I forgot the imp. That would have been a real shame. I think that it would have just been a guaranteed miss as well, because I think it pulls from the draw pile first. I'm not 100% sure on the channel song specifics, but I believe it pulls draw pile first. So if I didn't draw the imp there, I would have just not been able to play my Horned Warrior for an extra turn or two. Until I drew the imp, basically I was held hostage. With this setup, I wonder if it's right to go quick. This sentient is not good at living. She has a lot of trouble with the staying alive part. Because her max HP is too low, and it's hard to just keep her alive through it all. In the end of the run, anyway. Also, my rage damage, or my rage scaling isn't so good. I wonder if Chase Seraph will be a problem. There's a lot to dislike about this run, but it's mostly coming down to I'm double countered by Chase Seraph, which is very bad. I go Ensnare. The answer to my double counter here, of course, is to put more Infernos in the deck. Ultimately, life's a lot easier with an Inferno or two. Now, I have Channel Song. I don't think that necessarily... Well, let's see what we reroll into. I'm down for a large stone. Yeah, I am all for it. I lose out on the ability to play this imp, but I have bad news for you about this imp's long-term survivability. Where'd he go? Oh my god. Fledgling imp, where'd you go? Misplay here. I should have opened this first. It didn't bite me, but I should still be in the habit. Collection of Tails is fine. Ah, yeah. Now, I think Petrified Heart would not be the right choice here, but we can go up. Suddenly, this Horned Warrior has gone from 5 HP to 70 HP. Actually, his effective HP just went up to 90 in combat from 5, so that was a bit of a turnaround I didn't expect. I feel a little bit bad about playing so much Hellhorned, honestly, because I feel like we've just done this in a lot of runs now, but ultimately, it's not easy being cheesy. And also, I was just gonna random. But I think it's fine to pick combos. Unfortunately, I feel like picking combos is going to lead to me picking the same things over and over again to find good setups. But I'm gonna try to play around the champions in clan combos where it makes sense. Try to play around the champions. I raged the Sentient on accident. Like, I don't think that there's a way. I've tried it many times. I don't think that there's any sort of change that you're going to make to this run, or like to the clan combo choice that's going to make it so that rejuvenating Sentient magically has enough damage to solo carry, right? That's just not going to happen. And you're not going to be able to force it. I can't even conceive of a way where this champion is your mainstay carry, right? So I don't worry too much about it in that regard. I think that it is best to just play a good backliner behind Rejuvenating Sentient, and then Rejuvenating Sentient is a slightly worse version of the other two. And the reason that she's slightly worse is, of course, because lower max HP means she dies a lot easier. This champion, I think that all 3 Sentient paths would be viable if you gave this champion like 20 more max HP. I have to see what her final HP is. You can get one shot in the Divinity fight around 100 HP. Yeah, I mean, she dies in 2 hits to Fel, even with 20 or 15 regen or whatever it was. I think it was like 14. Transcendent is a no thank you. Also, Spreading Spore is a still no. Definitely a card draw here. Let me see what her final HP is before I make any final sweeping judgments. I'm gonna go left. I was thinking about going right, but I think the money is good. Don't misplay. Open the Horde. Are stings worth it? Theoretically. I think stings are worth it. You could go Lightstone casing there too and look for something like double stack for the ritual, but I don't think that's good. I think that the winning play here is to go Holdover Inferno now. Holdover 2-cost Inferno, Holdover 3-cost Ritual, Split Anvil. I think Split Anvil does enough. Because Holdover Inferno removes that random death of the sentient. 100 HP is just on the cusp, right? I think that I actually think if you give this champion like 15 more HP, she goes from like fringe, just worse of the other two, to good enough. I basically feel like she needs to have the same health as Spike Sentient. Whatever Spike Sentient 3 is for health, I think that's what the Sentient here should have. That's just my opinion, though. I don't think she's like... She's not bad, right? And part of the purpose of me playing this series or this mini-series through is I want to force myself to play these champion paths that I don't play so that I can see things like, oh hey, here's the Sentient. The Sentient's not that bad. I'm probably just a little biased against her because she lost me a few runs and I wanted her to be better. Like, I spent that entire eon mad at Alpha Fiend after he got buffed even because the 3-attack Alpha Fiend was so sad. Anyway, I think that this champion path is fine, but similar to some of the other champion paths we'll be covering in this series, it's just a little worse than the other two paths. So you would never pick this over one of the other two paths, I think. Hey, how much value do you get out of Split Anvil here? This has to be one of the best Split Anvils I've ever seen. You get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This thing's worth it's worth 9 energy here. What the hell? That's crazy. I played 4 2-cost spells and a 1-cost spell I wouldn't have been able to play if I didn't have Split Anvil. It's a little bit wicked. Anyway, we get to cover up the Sentient's weakness here by just having a Holdover Inferno, because Holdover Inferno lowers the damage output of the waves from here on. By a lot. Every backliner is now dead, and most of the frontliners are half health. That's a good difference. I can definitely get rid of all these torches now. Yeah, here comes another big ritual play. My only real concern is Seraph the Chase now, but we will see. We'll see what we see here. I feel like this series so far has also been really lucky. Like, I've had nothing but good starts and good RNG. I gotta say, I appreciate the layups, but starting tomorrow, things should look a lot worse. Tethys. Yeah, I actually think the Rejuvenating Sentient was probably better pre-DLC too. I don't know if I ever talked about it like that. I'll take another Inferno, fine. He wants to show me 3 Infernos, I'll take 3 Infernos. I think pre-DLC I was probably a little... I don't actually remember how I felt pre-DLC about this champion, but stacking regen was a lot more common pre-DLC. Wow, Channel Heart's really good. Rage for +1, yeah. No, but stacking regen was a lot more of a common strategy pre-DLC, and the enemies had lower health numbers you had to reach for kills. So, I think pre-DLC at the Sentient on Rejuve was fine. Although, also pre-DLC, Cultivating Sentient was unplayable for a while, so... You know. I am working, I think before I finish the deck builder video, I'm going to detour and I'm going to work on that History of Balance and Monster Train video, because I think that video is a lot of fun to make. I've been thinking about it a lot more. So, that's on the way. So, but if you don't know some of the classic Monster Train balance choices, I'll go over it in more detail in that, hopefully. However, the pre-DLC Sentient was a different champion. The cultivating path, I should say. By that I mean, cultivating Sentient used to be, what was it? It was revenge, draw a card, I think was what it was. So the pre-DLC, it was reworked somewhere before the DLC actually hit though, to be fair. But it was like revenge, draw a card, and it had like 200 HP. I think I had, over the course of time, one run where it was playable. And that run was... I don't actually remember how that run worked. I just had a super stacked floor in the middle, and I had the cultivating sentient in front. I think I was just like dropping units onto the floor behind her. I had like massive large stone animals and stuff like that. But for the most part, that champion path was absolutely abysmal. And now it's much better. It also, when it got reworked, it was overpowered because instead of being so originally it was reworked to, they wanted to keep the card draw factor intact, I believe. So it had, I'm trying to think of it. I think specifically, right, it was 1, 2, 3 on the draw. That's what I'm trying to get around to here. I was trying to think of if it was on Revenge or something like that, but no, it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. It's the same as it was now for cultivating, but the draw effect was 1, 2, 3 at levels 1, 2, and 3 of the upgrade. So you just, as long as your sentient was alive, which she was, you had 3 draw relics. Don't really know how that happened, honestly, because I feel like that one's pretty obvious to see as a problem, but somehow that was real for a while. I actually thought for a minute I might lose this because the sentient's kind of pitiful here. Don't play Inferno. I'm only doing 1,000 damage per round, so I was a little worried that I was going to get crushed. But wow, that's 1,000 damage through the Chaste Rage debuffs. Okay, I was a little concerned here. I didn't take the pack shards. Oh no. Well, that's a shame. Well, what I'm gonna do now, that's a real shame on my part. I think that ultimately, I can't believe I forgot that, man. Ultimately, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replay the seed real quick to get the effect. I don't think that there's a question that I would lose this, but if this ever happens, because it doesn't fuck up the win streak, and I will just do the penance here. I apologize, it just slipped my mind. Honestly, it just completely slipped my mind. I'm not going to change anything. Honestly, you know what I'll do? I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the recording, and I'm just going to run through this myself, and I'll be back in a minute with the, because I'm going to do everything exactly the same. I'm just going to get to the end. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I'll recap real quick. There's a few minor differences. One is I clicked too fast and got Scorching Restraints on accident. The other one is I grabbed a second Inferno. The thing that I think is interesting and worth noting about this run versus the last one is I took the 10 pack shards early. Like, I took them right away, pretty much, and then I died at Fell because the one of the backliners got infused that didn't get infused originally, and then Fell triple raged a floor right after it, and I got run over. Now, I would say I lost that more so because I wasn't paying attention because I was playing this run at, like, as fast as humanly possible, so. But still interesting to note that something that was not close or was not recognizably close, I guess I should say, did get away from me anyway. Worth going, huh? That's kind of interesting. But otherwise, pretty straightforward. I grabbed a second Inferno. I don't remember what I duplicated first time around, but I was like, oh, why wouldn't I just take a second holdover Inferno? Doesn't that just trivialize the whole run? And the answer is yes, as you can see here. So I actually do appreciate getting the second time through though, because one thing I spent some time thinking about what I feel here, and I think that Rejuvenating Sentient has one more benefit which I think is worth at least giving a mention to, even though it's not a particularly good benefit. That benefit is Rejuvenating Sentient makes it so that you don't have to take Ember Drain from the Ember Drain enemy ever. I don't remember what their name is, the Pyre Wings. You never get hit by a Pyre Wings with this Sentient because she kills them before they can swing. That is the range of enemy that she does really well against, which is you know, fine, I suppose. She does really well against enemies like the Pyre Wings and the other guy with the 140 HP. What's his name? I don't remember. Give me a sec. Dark Wings, I think their names are. The ones that give armor. But the problem is that as soon as one of those enemies gets infused, you fall apart. Anyway, this run did win. I think with one Inferno it would have also won, but there you go. I'm not gonna beat myself up over this. I'm not gonna take it too hard. I'm not gonna count this as like, oh, I lost because I forgot 10 pack shards. It happens to everyone at this point, so I think this run was fine. I think that the Sentient is one of the champions of all time, and ultimately, you're not playing a run where the Sentient is your main line carry, basically ever. I think that this run has actually helped me shift my perspective on Rejuvenating Sentient from unplayable to just not very good. And I think that it really comes down to one thing for the Sentient, which is Rejuvenating Sentient doesn't have enough HP. And frontliners as a whole just don't have enough HP. But if you pair this with a quick sweeper, I bet she does really well. Or at least as well as Spike Sentient did in the run recently. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.